Hi guys, this is Roslyn.
Hey, this is Noor.
So today we are here to discuss the do's and don'ts of an outdoor wedding.
The number one thing when planning an outdoor wedding is the venue, the location, of course. When finding or finalizing a location, three things you must keep in mind. Number one is the number of guests that you're expecting for the wedding. If it's a smaller group, a regular sized venue or a smaller sized venue is fine. But if you're having a larger group, make sure that the space is a little larger or proportionately larger to the group, because you don't want people feeling claustrophobic or like they're sitting on top of each other's laps, because that's kind of weird and maybe illegal also. Anyway, second point is something that is a huge problem with Bangalore and a lot of major cities, and that is parking. So make sure that the venue has ample car parking space. You can also have valet services provided as well. If it's not a hotel, then you can sort of hire them on your own. But if it's a hotel, they usually have that covered. And number three, most important, we cannot stress this enough. Season. Monsoon time and peak summer time, bad idea. I mean, in the monsoon it's so wet, it's so unpredictable whether it's going to rain, will it not rain, and that becomes your number one priority for stress. And in peak summer, that's March time, it's too hot. You know, it's just too hot, and sweating is not flattering for anybody.
If you really cannot avoid a summer wedding, then make sure that you have the wedding in the evening, or if it's in the afternoon, make sure that you have a lot of canopies to provide shade. And one very important thing that you need to know is that you should, while deciding the menu, make sure that you have a lot of juices, cold drinks, water in it, and so that people are hydrated at all times, and also have fans at different places so that they are always cool.
And a really cool thing that is during the rounds these days are these fans with those sprinklers,
yes.
And they like give these spurts of water out. So that's always a good thing to have during the summer. And if for some reason, if you cannot avoid having a outdoor monsoon wedding, it's just thought of crazy right now. But if you can't avoid having an outdoor monsoon wedding, two things you must keep in mind. Number one, waterproof marquee is your best friend. Waterproof anything is your best friend. Waterproof everything. Just put a waterproof covering over everything. And the second thing that's really important, and something that we've suffered ourselves as well when attending weddings, is in the monsoon, or just generally if the soil is wet, because outdoor weddings are usually in gardens and things like that. If the soil is wet, stiletto heels go sinking right in, and on a medical note it can hurt your ankles, but on a personal note we really ruin so many pretty shoes. So this is us asking you, like pleading you to please carpet. If you carpet it, there's really no problem that will occur.
Another thing that I can think of right now is the biggest disadvantage of having an outdoor wedding is that there are a lot of mosquitoes everywhere.
And don't even get me started on mosquitoes.
Yes. And you would like to fumigate the place, and we would suggest that do it twice on the day of the wedding. And you can also have these mosquito coils placed here and there so that it really works wonders.
Yeah, and that is fumigation is always a big deal throughout the year, 365 days a year. If you're having your wedding in the winter, which is obviously the best time of the year to have a wedding outside, because it's nice and cold, and you can wear sweaters and shawls and stuff. But sometimes if you're getting married in a city that's really cold, like Delhi, Amritsar, which tend to get very cold, a good idea would always be to have like a sigidi or a heating system of some sort. And just bear in mind, don't have just one, because then you'll just have the entire wedding just sort of standing around it like moths to a flame. It's best to have smaller ones at different places, so that it becomes more of an area where people can just sort of stand around and talk, as opposed to like fighting for heat. So I think that's definitely a good option.
So in terms of location, make sure that the restrooms and the kitchen are close by to the venue. You don't want people walking around too far away to find the restrooms, or you don't want the kitchen to be too far away because your food will get cold on the way. Yeah, and also you should have separate entrances for the service entrance and for the main entrance, because you don't want any obstruction happening there. And also you should also have, like, signages for the restroom and for the main entrance, because you don't want people to get lost.
And taking a leaf of restrooms, I just thought of this point, is one thing that is common to both indoor weddings, outdoor weddings, or any kind of wedding, is that there is not enough attention paid to the bathrooms or the toilets. So always have somebody to look into the fact that there is enough toilet paper, there is hand wash, that the taps and the basins are working, and that all the basins are getting water, not just one basin, which is sort of becomes a very messy situation. Somebody should definitely look into that prior to the wedding.
And if you're expecting a lot of elderly people, make sure that you have wheelchair access, and so that you don't want the elderly people to walk from the main entrance to the main venue.
Yeah, wheelchair access is definitely something that is overlooked a lot in outdoor weddings, so we should do that. Last but definitely not the least, the two points that we think are very important. Number one being generator backup for an outdoor wedding. Literally at night, if you're having a night wedding, there's a lot of lights that are used because they're lighting up the pathway and everything. So the last thing you want is the lights to go off, and that's it. That's the end of everything. And you don't have like generator backup. So definitely generator backup is number one. And number two is dustbins. They're very underrated, and they actually make a huge difference. If you have dustbins placed at different points, not just at the buffet, but just everywhere, then even the tissues that people use after having starters can be thrown into those as opposed to like on the floor, and then somebody has to eventually clean it up. It's very nice.
So we think that with all these wedding tips, you will be able to plan a perfect wedding.
And speaking about perfect weddings and the perfect scenarios, please go ahead and like our YouTube channel. The subscribe button is right down there. You can also follow us on Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, etc. All the information is listed down here right below.
And also please visit our website as well, which is www.weddingtales.co and .com.
And yeah, all our wedding tips, how we do weddings, frequently asked questions, etc. And some of our existing work, everything is on our website, which is www.weddingtales.co.
So yes, that's all for now then, and we'll see you next time. Bye.